Hi. Some time back, President Trump he claimed that America do not have any kind of oil supply from Strait of Hormuz, and so the countries of whose oil passes from there, they should actually take care of it. But yesterday, then he uh, gave a threat to Iran that within 48 hours, if the strait is not cleared, then he will attack the power installations of Iran. So today we will discuss about two scenarios why United States of America cannot afford to leave Strait of Hormuz, and number two, why the Iranian regime cannot afford to surrender. So first let's talk about United States of America. And United States of America cannot leave the Strait of Hormuz and cannot run away from there that easily because its core national interest lies there, and the national interest lies there because of the petrodollar. And in 1974, United States of America made a deal with Saudi Arabia, and such kind of deal was followed by actually with other nations as well, that exclusively these countries, especially Saudi Arabia, will be selling their energy, their oil in United States currency, that is dollar only, and in return of that the US will be the sole guarantor of their country's national security. And due to this type of arrangement, US's dollar became the world currency, world reserve currency, because every country needs energy, and for that every country needs dollar. So every country was buying dollar, keeping dollar as an asset, and spending dollar. And the money which was being made by these oil rich countries was again once again flowing to United States of America. So that cycle was running. And today if you look at US economy, it is having a depth of around 40 trillion dollar. And if supposedly 30 to 40% of trade moves away from US dollar to any other currency, then I don't think that it will be easy for US to maintain or to service this amount of massive debt. And that will lead to the collapse of the US economy. That is the reason US cannot afford. And already we are seeing that Iran has talked about collecting taxes or some kind of fee from those countries whose oil is passing through the Straits of Hormuz. Number one. Number two, they are also talking about letting those containers pass, letting those tankers pass, of whose deal has been done in yuan, Chinese currency, renminbi. So they are trying to work out to dislodge dollar, US dollar, petrodollar via petro yuan. And already Middle East countries are selling oil to China in yuan. So if US is unable to clear the Strait of Hormuz, then mark my words, slowly these countries will also shift to yuan as a guarantor of the Strait of Hormuz, so that their business can pass easily, because ultimately these countries have to do business. And the biggest source of their earning is oil and energy, oil and gas. So they may shift to petro yuan, and that will lead to the demolition of the hegemony of US dollar. Now come to situation of Iran. Why can't Iran just surrender to US and lead a happy life? Because it's fighting for its survival. All symptoms coming out of the reports says that the regime as well as the people there in Iran are thinking it as a war of survival. And when a nation fight for its existence or survival, then it fight with whatever they have, and they are doing it. And as far as the supporters of this regime is concerned, I don't think that they can't accept the regime to surrender. They can accept a bruised kind of regime, but not a surrendered regime. And finally, Iran is a country which is a civilizational character of country. And in any civilizational state, a civilizational country, there is nationalism. And I can say that because I am from a civilizational country, there are just few number of civilizational countries on this planet, like India, Iran, China, Egypt. And in these countries, the nationalism and patriotism is in the blood. So I think due to that patriotism and for the existence of a state of Iran. And mind it that this war is basically for fragmentation or balkanization of Iran. So to avoid the balkanization of Iran, for the existence and survival of the state, people are fighting, and that is the reason Iran is not going to surrender. And due to its economic policies and core economic national interest, US cannot leave the strait.